Elite Facts presents
10 video games people judge you for playing.
10.
Skylanders. Somewhat of a Spyro the Dragon spin-off, Skylanders is aimed for more of a younger audience and mixes the fun of gaming with the collection of some colorful figurines that are brought to life in the video game itself. However, if you, as a non-child, actually own this game, then you're no doubt going to be in the firing line to a lot of judging and ridicule, as well as losing the respect of your loved ones. I mean, it's cool if you want to fill your shelves with little figurines of fairies, dragons, and weird-looking birds, rather than some nicely aged whiskey or an awesome series of games, but that's none of our business.
9.
Just Dance. Okay, so maybe Just Dance isn't a game you would play regularly, or maybe it is. What do we know? Even so, if you've ever watched someone playing the game, you've noticed it's the perfect way to totally embarrass yourself. And sometimes, to make matters worse, these people upload footage of it to YouTube. Imagine yourself having fun busting some of the best moves of your life, but at the same time you're waving around the Wii remote and trying to keep up with the talented choreographed dances on screen. It's painful to watch, and probably even worse to take part in. So we came to the assumption that if you're over the age of 21 and still playing this game, your only real excuse is that you like to drink alone.
8.
Kantai Collection. Often referred to as Kan-Kali, Kantai Collection is probably one of the most unusual games you'll play in your lifetime. Like many games revolving around fighting, tactics, and war, the most obvious moment in history is usually World War II, which is exactly the setting used for Kan-Kali, except this time you play as the warships that were used by the Japanese. Doesn't sound so weird, right? Well, that's until you find out that the warships are actually represented by young anime girls. Yep, you heard right. These Japanese warships come in the form of cute and barely dressed anime girls who fight against each other while wearing parts of the boat on their bodies. I mean, do you even know how to explain this concept to anyone? I don't even think I understand what I'm talking about. All we know is that it's probably one of the most Japanese games imaginable, and it's weirdly popular. As if playing this game isn't strange enough, there's even an anime adaptation, so now you can watch your favorite boat girls too.
7.
Muscle March. We wouldn't blame you if you've never heard of Muscle March. It's not exactly a game you would want to tell people about, especially if you've actually played it. The game was released for the Wii in 2009 and puts you in the shoes of a completely over-the-top, muscle-bound bodybuilder who must run after the thief who stole your friend's protein powder. While running, however, you have to assume different bodybuilding poses to fit through holes in walls. The game involves a very unusual collection of characters, including an American boxer, a British female bodybuilder, and even a Norwegian polar bear. We don't exactly know why either, even though it's pretty hilarious to watch all of them pose and flex while running after the protein thief. Muscle March is just so trippy and full of Speedo-wearing muscle men that even your closest of friends won't want tickets to this gun show.
6.
Senran Kagura. Senran Kagura is pretty much an unapologetically pervy ninja brawler series and has been in circulation since around 2011. For anyone who's managed to play any of these games, we want to know, at what point does it make you feel uncomfortable? The series itself is structured around huge ninja battles. Think along the lines of Dynasty Warriors, but with more hysterical than historical characters. And the more damage you receive, the more clothing you lose. This is called clothing damage and has been present in every entry of the series to date. There's also a mass amount of breasts involved, lots and lots of breasts, which to some may be sexual and offensive, but we're sure it's all in good fun. If scantily clad ninja girls aren't your thing, then you can pick up the Peach Beach Splash game of the series, which features over 30 girls in bikinis spraying water guns at each other. Just make sure you don't let anyone know you're playing it.
5.
Galgun. Galgun is what's classed as a rail shooter, a game that limits the player to moving and following a specific route. You play as Tenzu, a student who has been hit with several Cupid arrows and becomes irresistible to the opposite sex. So you're basically transformed from normal schoolboy to sex god, but only for one day. The only catch is you must find your true love before the effects run out. Otherwise, you're destined to be forever alone, which you probably will be if you're playing these types of games. Anyway, throughout the game, you'll find yourself shooting so-called pheromone shots at girls who are bombarding you with love letters and screams, knocking them out of you as you pursue romance with one of the 4 main female leads. If you really want to get involved in the game, it includes a Doki Doki mode, where you, the player, have the option to zoom in and stare at a girl you fancy. Oh, and in case you're worried your mom might walk in during your little perv session, the developer added in a Mama Kita Gamin', or Mom Arrived screen. So with the hit of a button, you can turn the game into what looks like an 8-bit RPG. Or how about you get out of your room and talk to some real girls?
4,
Oniichanbara Z2. The Oniichan Bara series dates back to 2004, but in the newest installment of the hack-and-slash series, we follow two pairs of rival zombie-killing sisters who have to put their differences aside as they want to rid the world of the undead. The gameplay isn't the best and the graphics engine is pretty standard, but you do get to fill your screen with half-naked butt-kicking ladies, who also have quite fetish-friendly character designs. Of course, we appreciate that you may just want to hop on board the sleigh train and simply hack and slash your way to spilling gallons upon gallons of zombie blood, because that all sounds chaotic and manly, but just make sure no one knows you're controlling girls in Japanese schoolgirl uniforms or less while doing it, because unlike the zombies, the humiliation and jokes won't stay buried for long.
3,
Hatoful Boyfriend. We're not sure what the developers of Hatoful Boyfriend were drinking or taking at the time of creating this game, but it must have been some pretty heavy stuff. We suppose you could class the game as a dating sim of sorts, in which you attempt to romance birds, and we don't mean the British slang word for women, we literally mean birds. Surely it's shameful enough that you're playing a dating sim in the first place, but when you realize you're the only human attending St. Pidgeot Nations Institute, an elite school for birds, and trying to date actual feathered birds, the embarrassment levels just escalate to another level. And yes, you probably could purchase and play the game as some form of a weird joke, but at the end of the day, you're still playing it, therefore are destined to be on the receiving end of countless bird-themed jokes, just for owning this foul game. Also, we just gave you an example right there of the terrible bird-themed puns you'll find out in this weird, unwonderful game.
2,
Lollipop Chainsaw. Lollipop Chainsaw sees you take control of a teen cheerleader by the name of Juliet Starling, who must face hordes of the undead while armed with, you guessed it, a chainsaw. The game is actually a collaboration between game designer Suda51 and filmmaker James Gunn, who gave us movies like Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy. So that being said, you just knew that Lollipop Chainsaw was going to be a colorful and weird video game, along with some over-the-top violence. All of that aside, however, we can't ignore the bouncy, kill-happy cheerleader you control, and it's no surprise that Juliet's sexuality becomes a big part of the game, seeing as throughout the game you get the option to dress her up in some kinky alternate outfits, not to mention the achievement you can gain if you can pan the camera to look up her skirt. Now, how do you explain that achievement to your friends? We can't imagine "my finger slipped" would be a valid excuse for your, let's say, curiosity.
1,
Dead or Alive Xtreme 2. Surely you don't want to go through life with your friends and family calling you a pervert and poking fun at your gaming choices, right? Or maybe you do, that's up to you. If the answer is yes, then why not go and pick up a copy of Dead or Alive Xtreme 2? You can become engrossed in the series like never before and take control of the ladies from Dead or Alive, who we assume are taking a break from all of the bloodshed. So instead of beating each other to a pulp, the girls can be seen bouncing around a nice beach resort, playing all kinds of games while only wearing skimpy bikinis. Sounds like every teenager's wet dream, right? Dead or Alive, of course, perfected boob physics in games, so we would recommend playing the beach volleyball games behind closed doors, alone. Oh, and just to fulfill all of your wants and needs, you can play dress up with all the girls too. Oh boy, won't that be fun for you? If you've somehow managed to play through any of these games without being ridiculed by friends and family, we salute you. But why not leave a comment below and tell us about some of the most embarrassing games you've played? Then everyone can make fun of you. Or tell us what you think of the ones we've listed. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.